Hari Om. In our Bharatiya Vaidika Sampradaya, Sanatana Dharma, we have four ashrama methods, stages of life: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Brahmacharya ashrama is meant for that amazing time in our life wherein, without any other pressures of life that can drag us, pull us, and tear us apart, one can focus on completely, totally investing into oneself. We'll come to that as to what does investing in oneself actually mean. Why is it important first? Supposing I want to save somebody from drowning, or want to make the life saving as my profession, the first and foremost thing that I should learn is I should be able to swim. I should be able to float. Without that, it becomes almost impossible to be a lifeguard or to be able to save someone from drowning. So, we would want to invest in that learning process. The way we are moduling ourselves these days, we have too much of emphasis on being proficient, getting about 25 to 30 years of our life in gathering all our resources and investing on something. For example, we invest in market, house, car, education also is an investment. But more important than all of this is investing in rather than on. So that wherever life takes me, I am prepped, ready with the required skill sets. So what does this investing oneself in oneself mean? Let us start from the physical. Okay. If you are in that Brahmacharya ashrama, first 25 years of our life, and you're learning this, good for you that at the right age you are spending the right amount of time in yourself. But even if we are not in that situation, these things give us a second chance in life. And who doesn't want a second chance? But how does one rebuild that second chance so that we stand a chance? So first we'll start with the physical aspect of it. In the physical sense, we need to look at and probably rehaul our ways of doing things. For example, right time to sleep, right time to wake up. Then, after waking up, spending some time in revitalizing this body through pranayama and yogasana, along with building the muscles. The tenacity and the flexibility is also very important, which the yoga prakriya, which is called yogasana, very systematically focuses on. We are what we eat. So, therefore, a healthy habit of eating good, fresh, cooked food, then healthy grooming practices, keeping oneself clean, keeping oneself, you know, to come out with such finesse in everything, to be conscious of it. Keep these surroundings clutter free, clean, aesthetically beautiful. You live in that place. So keep it in a way that it is accessible and it is pleasing. That you come, bed is not made, then the agitation or frustration, it only gets amplified. So things to be done in proper time so that they are clutter free, like the room, the bed, the table, books, kitchen, keep them clutter free, keep them accessible, and keep them clean. Now comes the mind aspect of it. Mind functions really good when there are certain habits, a routine, a schedule. And don't overstuff your day with, back to back to back. Rather, have a healthy practice of routine and leave enough space for life to happen. Otherwise, we are busy running from one schedule to the other. When are you there for your own life and happening? Yes, it might give you a sense of grip saying that things are in control, but life doesn't happen that way. Things get thrown at us by my own experiences, and one should be available to face them. So don't, pack, but have healthy system throughout the day where there is a certain pattern and routine. And in between, you will have the opportunity to go through life as well. And while you're going through this, life and its happenings, follow the emotions and be mindful of them. Be a watching witness of them rather than jumping in and becoming the emotion. Evaluate it. Is it worth? Is it right? Is it pleasing? Will it leave a pleasing environment? So follow the emotion, be watchful about it, be mindful about it. If there is a raw emotion that is gripping, contain it, quarantine it, process through it. Let it not be a point wherein I have to be suppressing it or vomiting it. Just find a healthy way to channelize. When we come to the journaling, we will go through that. But definitely, neither suppressing helps, it builds the pressure. The same pressure is leaked out into the environment, and the whole environment gets contaminated. So, get a lid on it and channelize it properly. This beautiful part, I have seen people where they consistently go into their regular day-to-day responsibilities with pre-decided notion of frustration, agitation. Oh my God, I have to do this again. When if you can consistently maintain that emotion, why not maintain a cheerful attitude? Okay, I know what's to be done. I know what has to be accomplished. I know this routine. Let me jump into it with cheerfulness rather than a mourning face. Go with cheer. Let me bring some vitality into it. So we become the architect of what emotion to choose to jump into an action. So consciously start and end and go through the process with the emotion that you are choosing rather than what is being dictated. That is how you get a grip. Now, shifting gears, going into the intellectual pattern. Challenge yourself with uh, subtler, nobler, thought-provoking ideas. Keep that freshness always going on. And for everything that we are responsible and we have to jump into an action, just before jumping into action, how clear am I with respect to my conviction, with respect to my shraddha, with respect to my uh, being or doing always the right rather than the easy? A checklist. And that checklist, when it marks, we go in with a certain amount of confidence that this is something that I can, should, and must be involved in. Therefore, with enthusiasm, with freshness of mind, I deliver to every single moment. This has to be trained in. A healthy habit, invest in yourself. Now, along with this, I would say we tend to stagnate ourselves and feel stifled when we stop learning. So, therefore, always have the mindset of a student, a learner. Learn new language, a new recipe, read new books, read varied topics. With regards to books, be as gluttonous as possible. Read as many topics, as many varied subjects. Why? Nourish your mind, stimulate it with something new, fragrant. Pick some consistent habits, hobbies, whether it is music, dance, pottery, cooking, painting, gardening, at least two or three. It kind of rejuvenates, freshens one up. Along with investing in yourself, it is a good investment when you have a healthy amount of time with family and friends. Communicate with them, be in constant touch with them, maybe cook with family regularly, watch TV, or play a sport together, go for a walk, go for camping. I mean, of course, after this whole pandemic is gone, then definitely. Then, one thing is when we are investing in oneself, we become a keen witness of our own flaws. We are not perfect, of course, we are not. So, when we find these flaws, these frictions, these fears, these frustrations, work on that which is creating the highest amount of agitation, work on it one at a time, and work with such healthy pattern that you become conscious of it, aware of it, and sublimate it from life. One at a time, but a healthy habit to be established. Then, as a last criteria, once these things have been taken care of, then I would say one should definitely invest in the spiritual well being as well. A lifestyle wherein there is a pattern wherein you wake up, your morning yoga pranayama is done, then you sit down again for the puja. There are some pranayama methods. Invoke the pranayama, then do your puja, japa, then some uh, patha, like Sundarkand, Hanuman Chalisa, Vishnu Sahasranam, Lalita Sahasranam, Saptashati, one of them, not all of them, but one of them, whoever is your Ishtadaiva, that patha, then sit down for dhyana. At this point, let me also say that though mostly I'm saying it as a investment in yourself, it can also become a healthy habit for the entire family at least once a day, wherein you all sit, do some, patha, parayan like Hanuman Chalisa or Vishnu Sahasranama, sit down and do some japa together, some arati, bhajans. That's a healthy habit to develop. For your own personal growth, keep a meticulous schedule of constantly, daily reading a scriptural text, Shastra Adhyayana. I'm not talking of these fluffy self help books, they're far away from Shastra. Yeah, that you can enjoy in your other times. When I said, read new books, you can put it in that category. But Shastra Adhyayana is not fluffy study, something more on a sincere note. Maintain a journal. Maintain a journal wherein you constantly empty yourself, all the uh, piled up emotions, feelings, uh, scars, let it all be emptied out. Clean. That when I go from one experience to the other, from one day to the other, there is no prior contamination that I carry forward, smear it into my experience, and see it through those lenses. And that becomes my personal investment into myself. And in order to keep my radar, my direction very focused, I said daily attend satsang. Don't keep jumping on from one to the other to the other. Stick to that who you have connected to as your guru, and uh, consistently grow in a systematic order. Satsang daily is a must. As much as food at a physical level is must, satsang is equally a must. This one thing that I would say at the end of each day, try to undo, unclutter, uncling. Spend at least 5 to 10 minutes with yourself. Let that mind heal. Let your system heal. Don't run with your gadgets, equipment, books, pen, even japamala. Nothing. Just spend, quietly sit down. Maybe you can observe your breath and sit calm. And lastly, contemplate and meditate upon that Paramatma as the very core of my own being, as the substratum of this entire creation. Focus and meditate upon that. This is called Brahma Chintana. Now, while we fix all of these in investing into oneself, and it becomes a regular pattern of healthy habits, then when we face life, mind is fresh, energetic, available to face and to to bring out the best solution that the situation is demanding. And we we will find a thorough contentment, tripti. We will be able to enjoy moment to moment, day to day, and the frustrations reduce. Such non-frustrated one, when continuously practices these spiritual steps, investing in oneself, we can then become a productive, positive, impactful individuals in the environment that which we are already a part of, the society, the neighborhood, the friend circle, the social circle. And upliftment happens just by the presence of such individual. May we be one such. I know this has been a long one, but this investment in oneself is a necessity if we want to be cheerful and bring cheer in others. Hari Om.